Hello, hello, this is Arcades, and welcome to a bit of a discussion video here on Stormworks Build and Rescue. And, yeah, we got something interesting to talk about. They released some info, the devs did, about Stormworks and their plans in the future, and, yeah, it's interesting. I knew it was coming up, but, I really wasn't expecting it this soon, but hey, we're gonna talk about it. My thoughts and feelings on the subject, but when you're wondering what we're talking about, it's about the modding update that's going to be dropping. Whoo, boy, this is going to be fun. Okay, so I hope you like what you watch, hope you enjoy what you see. If you do, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, helps out the channel immensely, and yeah, let's get into this. Okay, just so you know where we're at, I'm in my career world. I wanted to let some oil build up from the pumping station, so I don't have to worry about later when I go to do my next career mode, which I just realized might be a little bit of a spoiler for the career VOD coming up. But yeah, so I still have the crab. Yeah. So, here's the thing. Actually, how about we just take a look at the thing real quick first? Okay, so here we go. This was the news posted. The Assets Modding Major Update. The Assets Modding Major Update will release at 5 p.m. UTC on November 20th, 2024. Asset modding. We are launching a new type of modding, the ability to mod game data files, art assets, sound effects, etc. We're open sourcing loads of our game's artwork to assist the modding community. Some incredible mod creators have been creating these custom mods without tools for help for years. The creations include new components, sound effects, game locations, and more. The technical skill to reverse engineer how the game works and develop these mods is incredible without official workshop support. The uptake of their creations has been low. The new major update will add workshop support as well as multiplayer support options and a modding SDK including compilers and source artwork files. What mods should we expect? This new update allows players to modify most game data files, 3D models, vehicle components, etc. However, it isn't possible to modify executable code for safety reasons. New vehicle components can be created. These can be cosmetic modifications of existing components, although many properties can be modified in the component XML files to update behavior. New sound effects can be added, modifying the general sound of the game, otherwise creating a new buzzer components, etc. Islands can be modified, creating new locations and landscapes. Multiplayer support. When connecting to a multiplayer server, the required mods are automatically downloaded. There's no requirement to sync up mods beforehand. Mod servers are clearly labeled with an icon, so you can always have the option to play vanilla if you prefer. Experimental release. A preview of this new update is available now on the experimental branch in Steam betas. This allows creators to check out the tools and learn how the modding works, and to play around with the SDK ahead of the launch on November 20th. There will also be a modding guide available on the GeoMeta Wiki. With the launch of the modding support, there are some sensible rules, such as not infringing trademarks, as well as clarifying some legal stuff. If you own the mods you create. We will update our terms of use in the next few days and add them to the Steam app. We are excited to see what players will create. It's hard to know how many players will get into this type of modding, but we'll be looking for feedback, and we are open to expanding this further and listening to mod creators. If this is what players and creators want, then perhaps this is just the beginning of new mod support features in Stormworks. Much love, the devs. Okay, so basically, as it stated, we're getting mods. Now, I'm going to be very clear about this. I want to be clear on my personal thing. Like, I think this is a good thing. Overall, it should be a good thing. However, I'm very much going to emphasize wording. The word should be a good thing. I used to play a while back another game. You can see a lot of games here. City Skylines. I have a number of mods for this game. In the same manner, so to speak. You know, actually mostly assets. And I've seen what can happen with this. This is not... I don't think Stormworks will get to this degree. If you've played this, then you know what I'm talking about. Especially if you've played it for a while. You should probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And about how this thing treats mods. Eventually it turned into the mods were the ones making up most of your content in the game. And then the devs ended up creating DLC packs based on these creators. Now, overall, that's generally good, but then that was just an indirect way of making paid mods, which then made it it's weird. Overall, there's a lot of controversy with it, but I believe this is an edge case that I don't think Stormworks will get to. But there were certain issues with this game because I've tried to go back to this game, to Skylines, and try to play with the older mods that I had, and they can be... It's rather tricky to know whether or not an old mod that you really loved actually worked or not. Now, this being just beginning for Stormworks, this isn't going to be an issue. But down the road, you have mods that become staples now might become redundant because a new mod came out, or you'll have like a mod that'll have I think Skylines, I think there was like in a few other games, like where's it at in my list? Hydroneer. I think Hydroneer here has mods for it that have somebody creates a baseline mod that acts as a foundation for other mods to build on. Well, that's great until later on somebody makes a better one. And then all those mods that get made afterwards require that as a dependency, but may not work compatibly with the old dependency. Or the two dependencies fight each other. Because they're two different foundations and they're not compatible. So then you have to choose between the older mods that you love or get rid of them so that you can play with the new mods. Now, this is not an issue because most of the time the older mods, they'll update theirs to match the new mod dependency item. And everything's hunky-dory, but if you have an old one where the mod creator doesn't care anymore, and it doesn't get updated to match, you're stuck with a mod you want to play with, but you can't anymore because they don't want to update it. Because they don't care. They're not into the game anymore. So, this is all stuff that can happen. And I'm very much emphasizing the can. Because we've got a bunch of the other creators that are emphasizing, we got all this new stuff, so cool. And they're right. This is going to add a lot of cool stuff. But I kind of want to be like a voice of reason about what to watch out for. Is these are situations come up, and, because like even here, Lethal Company, this is a game that I think is a wonderful game. You played it. It can literally, your experience is can be completely derived by the set of mods somebody wants to play. This is a good thing and a bad thing. Because a lot of the times, I find myself coming back to the original game. I have barely got to play the game as it is, as just the original Lethal Company. Yes, I know, I haven't updated it. It's been a while. But yet, I've got people that play it, they refuse to play it without mods. They absolutely refuse to play it without mods. And the mods they put in completely ruin the experience. They take out all the challenge. They take out they just want the cheap thrill jump scare instead of the actual challenge of playing the game. And, you know, that's where it's, you know, stuff can get. I have no problem with, you know, there's no problem with playing that way. If you don't want to play with certain things, hey, that's up to you. But know that it's going to come down to an issue where it may create another scenario of have and have-nots. Because we already have the scenario with Stormworks and the DLCs. We already have like a have and have-not situation with people who do have the DLCs and those who don't. Most people have the search and destroy. I believe it's considered most everybody I talk to the most popular. My personal favorite is industrial. I don't care about the search and destroy that much. We all know where most people stand with the Spaceworks. But the situation is that you'll come in like another scenario. Say you go into a server. I want to know, you know, they said that, you know, it could be automatically downloaded. Well, what if that, does it create a temporary one that gets deleted after you leave the server? Does it overwrite whatever version you may have? Or, you know, what if two mods have like the same name and then they overwrite each other? I'm hoping they do have like contingencies for all of this. I'm hoping that if you join a multiplayer server, you know, there isn't any issues, you know, with compatibility between what you have and what you want, or something that you download from that server overwrite something you would rather have kept. I mean, like, these are all possibilities. Say, like, they have parts, like, I think already on the workshop is, like, Thales mod pack, which I just saw Endo's video on it, and it looks like it's got some really cool shit to it. The point is while there's a lot of good stuff that can come out of this, I kind of hoping to give a little bit of voice of reason about this is that be cautious. Now, as far as my personal videos that I'm going to be making, I'm going to stick more vanilla as far as the actual content of my, like, tips and tricks and stuff, because I want to make it kind of, like, standardized for people who come into the game. I will make separate content for any modded stuff I look at, and I'm probably going to do what I can to keep, if I do modded content, you will know it is modded, and which mods I used for said video. So, that's how I'm looking at this. So, like I said, overall, this should be a good thing. Should be. But we will have to see how it turns out, because things could go very bad easily. Very much could. Dang, there's a bit of a wind. So, and like if we go here to the workshop already, and I just come in here, let me expand this out a bit, and you'll see down at the bottom we have mods already. And we got Electric Parks Expanded, Thales got his pack, the bigger workbenches, belts. I mean, all of this looks uncool. This one I am probably going to get. I mean, look at this. Did the simplest thing ever. These are like the mods we need. These are what we need. This is what it should have kind of been in there already. Especially for the impeller pumps. F those impeller pumps without this. I mean, I already said, take my points. And that's all he does is we'll get simple ones like that, especially at the beginning. And then, you know, we've got this, like, island. Whole race item. Showing it, like, race courses and such. And, you know, I think this is cool. I might check that out later. Who knows? And then you got car packs, you know, tutorial block, and then we got the expanded workbenches. Paintable modular engines. Ooh, that's interesting. Gun mod. And here's going to be my other problem. He's got a thumbnail, but no images on the actual parts. I wish it, you know, that's the other thing. And then, oh, you got a new dock right here. Somebody made a new dock. It looks like it adds on to Sawyer. Radar range boosted. Tire slip. Infinite range. These are the ones that are going to annoy me. These infinite range stuff. The ones that just say, let's remove the difficulty. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or people shouldn't, but at the same time... silent gearbox. This is an interesting one, because I never thought the sound was obtrusive. I think it was just a testing for this person to try out stuff. But yeah, you can see. Like, this is the ones that are already on here right now. And I would say, if you're definitely doing this, the more info, probably the better thought out this is. Well, I'm not going to say that somebody didn't put any thoughts into the parts, but I'm trying to say is that you probably expect higher quality. Half the size of the medium battery, 3 times as charge, 3 times as light, 4 times expense. Look, see this right here. This is a person that decided to make a part that has pros and cons versus the other parts. This is stuff I want to see. They use the base game and give you new parts that have a balance versus the original parts. Half the size of the original medium battery, 3 times the charge, 3 times as light, but 4 times expensive. That means that's $4,000, I believe. Cheaper, smaller, lighter, holds less charge. I wonder how that goes in against the hard point, because people use that as a battery. A smaller relay, battery cell. Yeah, so, alright, and this is already an example. Now, here's the thing I haven't gotten to. What if you actually want to join the beta? How do you get... Because right now they currently have a Steam beta going on, so you can actually test this out. So how do you do that? Okay, so how do you do it? So you have your game here. And you see I'm already in experimental. You find it on your library. You will right-click on it, come down to Properties, and then you will see you have betas. And then up here you have beta participation. And then you can click on the drop down and just click on the experimental. And that's all you need to do. And then it'll start updating the game to match. And then once it's done downloading the game and it's updated, then you just hit start. And that's all you need to do to get into the beta. There's no special passcode or whatever. You just do that. And then you download, and then you can actually use the mods to try stuff out. Okay, real quick. Here's it. It gives you a link to the modding guide on the GeoMeta Wiki. And if you come here, this will give you all your definitions that you need. Will give you a basic... will give you somewhat of a tutorial on how to access the info and such. And oh, and how you can activate it and all that. So, and it gives you a rundown of what things can happen. So apparently, okay, so it looks like that the mod, you can't just download a mod and just have it thrown into whatever current save you have. So yeah, they sit here and they'll tell you what you should do, what affects what. You know, gives you the basic rundown. See, I'm not big into this, so I can't just like explain this like I normally do, but here's the info if you want to find it. And yeah, so it's... yeah, so yeah, that's the website. Well, there goes my plans for picking up some oil and processing it. Talking about this video. So I guess... okay, enabled mods. Workshop. So, yeah, okay. So you'll come in here once you get the experimental version. So you can't add them to your current game, but you can add them to your previous game. I'm sure there might be like an XML way to get that to fix, but I'm very sure probably not. So you'll probably need to restart with fresh new games in order to get this stuff in. So that's kind of annoying, but understandable. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much about it. I just want to leave a hopeful but cautionary tale of what can happen to mods in a game. Since everybody's been pretty much going, huzzah, huzzah, I wanted to make sure to be a little bit of a voice of reason, like, hold on, it's cool, but just be wary of this. Just be wary. Because I actually expect there will be for a few months, probably until the New Year, maybe sometime in March, we'll see a bunch of mods get thrown on there, and they will probably be a bunch of really simple mods, like the pump one. I expect a lot of the bigger ones that have been worked on in the past few years will actually show up will show up first, and then the initial wave of stuff will probably be like small part adjustments, and stuff like that, kind of like that pump arrow direction thing, until finally, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any really new big mods, like kind of like Thales mod pack, or the islands and such, not the really big, like expansive cool ones, until sometime in like spring next year. Like maybe March. So yeah, those are my expectations, and we'll probably see some really cool ones. I'm really looking forward to more islands for this, for the seed to spread around. Those are what I'm looking forward to. Like I said, any videos I make, I will do, unless I say otherwise, should consider them vanilla gameplay. I will make any Stormworks modded videos. They will be known to be modded right off the bat, and any mods that will be required to do what I show. So, and I'll try to link those mods too from the workshop. Anything I do has to be on the workshop as well. If it's not linked on the workshop, I'm not looking at it. So, that much is for sure. That's the way I was before, that's the way I am now, and that's the way I'm going to go forward with this, because this is what people can see. I want to be able to access, if they want to access it, yada yada yada. Either way, so alright, so hope you like what you saw, hope you enjoyed what you watched. If you did, you know the deal, you know the spiel. This is Arcades signing out. Have yourself a good day. No camera to zoom, sorry. Whee!